Look at this one from Fraser-Pryce.
Wow, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce opened her season with a 10.94, but there is something far more important than the 10.94 that everyone missed. Can you guess what it is? You know what? Let's jet into this story. Welcome to Jet. So first and foremost, before we get into what a lot of people didn't pick up on, apart from the win aided 10.94 in Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce opener, give thanks to Yahweh and to Yahushua. Yes, man. So Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce has been plagued with injuries since 2023. She was a bit fit in 2024 and decided to run the Olympics. You would have heard story about her being barred from entering to the training camp, and therefore she ended her Olympic dream, or perhaps you'd say 2024 season, disappointed. Apart from that, you have not seen Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce in any race at all. Unofficially, she ran at her son's sports day, and that was her unofficial opening of the season until the 19th of April at the Jamaica Velocity Fest 17, where Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce made her official opening with a impressive time of win aided 10.94. But apart from the 10.94, what Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce did at that meet, only one other Jamaican has ever done it. It was not just a 10.94 win aided season opener, but an historic event to which Jet will develop further on as we go on into the video. Many have missed this milestone, which is what makes it historic. But before we get to this historic event, let's look at how Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce achieved a milestone which only one other Jamaican athlete has ever achieved this in the history of the sport over the 100 meter. She ran a win aided 10.94, and this is how she did it. Watch this.
Anticipation gives way to acceleration, and Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce and Natasha Morrison stormed this one. Look at this one.
An impressive run for a 38-year-old. Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce came up and she was driving at this stage, but then when she put on the afterburner, stretching her legs, showing a true class she is, no other athlete has ever run this fast except for another Jamaican, and this is who this Jamaican is. Watch this.
And it's a fair start. The top three automatically qualify for the semifinals. Inger Miller struggling a little bit. Here comes Merlene Ottey. Ottey is there now. Miller with a surge. They come to the line and...
Yes, Jamaica's legendary Merlene Ottey, who unfortunately never won an Olympic title, but she's won over 10 World Championships titles. Well decorated. Ottey at age 40 ran a world lead in 10.99 seconds at Thessalonica, Greece on 30th of August 2000. Comparatively, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce ran only a couple of days ago a 10.94 at 38 at a win aided 3.1 meters per second, adjusted to about 11 seconds dead, just 100th of a second different from Merlene Ottey at the age of 40, which is very, very impressive indeed and very historic. Without any win, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce would have won at 11.11, which is still a good time, but take the legal limit of 2 meters per second, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce would have run 11 seconds dead flat at 38. How many athletes has ever achieved such a landmark, such a milestone in their career? Well, I can tell you, none at 38 would have run 11 seconds except another Jamaican, another compatriot, Merlene Ottey Page. At one point, I think, when she married, she was the only athlete at 40 were able to run that fast. But when you compare Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce and Merlene Ottey, Ottey being 36 and Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce being 34, you can see that Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce would have had the lead, because Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce ran 10.60 while Merlin Ottey at 36 ran 10.74, and I think that's the fastest she has ever run. Therefore, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce at that age, which is not much different from Merlin Ottey's age, would have been a more faster and better athlete, as they say in boxing, pound for pound, in terms of age comparison. Merlin Ottey said that she will continue to run until age 60 or perhaps even longer, and it appears as if she's living up to her words. The last reported championship race she ran was in Nova Garcia, Slovenia in 2012, where she ran in the relay. Although they did make the final, I think she came 6th, and she was at the age of 52. But it has been reported that as of 2017, Merlin Ottey, then 57 years, ran and remained active in athletics. So she's always said even 70 and 80-year-old people are running. But let's hear what she had to say. Some people are speculating, perhaps even saying it's more credible, that the reason why Merlin Ottey continued to run this long in her long decorated career is because she did not get the ultimate Olympic title that she wanted so desperately, the pinnacle of the sport, an Olympic title. She was pipped by Gail Devers, although many are speculating that Merlin Ottey won the race because her torso crossed the line while Devers' head crossed the line. They gave it to Deva, and Merlin Ottey felt as if she's been cheated. This is only speculation, and she believed that the only way she can probably get this Olympic title is to continue to run. Unfortunately, age is creeping upon her, but the times that she ran at the age of 40 and continued to run at such age, it is remarkable and a very good achievement. Listen to what Merlin Ottey had to say to see if there is any credibility that she may have felt cheated why she continued to run. Watch this.
I like to see, when I got to 40, I was like, okay, I want to see what I can run at 40, because when I arrived at 30, everybody thought I was old. So I can't imagine what they're thinking now. I got to 40, I was like, okay, I want to see what I can do at 40. It has never, nobody tried to make a, huge theme, and then I got to 45, and then I at 50 wanted to see how fast I can run. So this is what motivates me.
Wow, remarkable statement. There is still hope for Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce. Are you listening, Miss Fraser-Pryce?
And I think when I get to 60, I want to see what I can run also. When Sydney should have been my last race, I planned to retire, But then I was running well, and the athletes from Slovenia was not so good, so it was there. I was good enough to compete, and I just decided I'll keep running, and when I cannot make another team, then I would quit. But things change every time. So yeah, it was great for me to run for Jamaica all these years, but I didn't think I was going to be in the sports for this long. And so.
But Merlin Ottey's got the goal. Ottey's got it.
At last, a world championship goal. But I'm sure you regretted not winning the Olympic title, the Olympic gold.
The two of them still eating me, yes.
Which ones are they?
Yeah, Stuttgart and the Olympic Games. When Stuttgart, before the finish, and I was just saying, why do they have to go down to the 1/1000 of a second? And then also in Atlanta, that was my last chance. I was 36 years old, so I was like, okay, no way I can come back at 40 and try to win. And I lost on the photo.
Devers just, and I think she's defending her title well. Gail Devers has it.
I lost 2 gold medals that way, and I can't see why we have to go down to the 1/1000 anyway. I would even pay for my gold medal if it was a problem with money. I was like, here is it, I'll just make a duplicate and give it to me. But
speaking of Asafa, in my last video, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. There is some heated debate going on over there, so go and watch that video. This is how much an Olympic gold medal means to an athlete. Merlin Ottey said she would pay for it if she had the chance, because that would have been the pinnacle of her career. And trust me, many people are speculating that Asafa Power will win the money races and not the big race when it really matters. But some people may say, well, he's making money and Olympic gold can't take to supermarket and buy food and pay the rent and pay the bills. Very important point. But winning an Olympic title will set you up to win even bigger money. Nevertheless, Merlin Hattie wanted that gold medal so badly, it may well contribute to her continuing to run.
Any regrets? Well, I can't say I regret not winning the gold medal. I mean, it is sad that I did win it, but I've achieved a lot in the sports. It's only a pity that I don't have a gold medal from the Olympics to go with my, my collection. Oh, there's no retirement age. When I look, I see there are other people competing. They're 75 to 100 years old. There's no limitation there. So I'm going to still run and see what I can do.
Wow, 100 Merlin Hattie is pushing it. That's too much. Unless you're going to be running at your children's sports day like Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce. However, Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce, there is hope for you. There is definitely hope for you. All you have to do, Shelly-Anne, this is the big challenge now. Jet is calling you out on this challenge. At age 41, beat 10.99 and then you will hold the world record of the oldest athlete that ever run faster than Merlin Hattie in the history of the sport over women's 100 meter. How about that, Shelly? Only Merlin Hattie has ever reached this milestone, and Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce at 38 running 10.94 equivalent to under a 2 meters per second wind, 11 seconds. No other athlete except Merlin Hattie has ever achieved this, and this should be historic. Not only just a season opener of 10.94. So what is your view? Do you believe that Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce has made a historic mark at this age by running such a fast time based on the evaluation that Jet pulled down in terms of adjustment with the wind speed and so on? Do you think that she should take on the challenge and try and beat Merlin Hattie's record? Or do you think that it's time to put up the boots? As she said, this year is our final meet and then she will hang up the spikes and probably go on to do further and bigger and better things. If Merlin Hattie can do it, Jet believe that Shelly-Anne Fraser-Pryce can also do it. Look at the speed she's running at this age. Remarkable. Superb. Wow. It is shocking and mind-blowing. So for those of you forgotten to subscribe, please remember to touch the like button, smash the subscribe button, touch up the bell, and remember to share with your friends and family. So here we go now. We're going to jet off,